Let's get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a 3D tournament in Mission at Mission Bowmasters. And I've just received a shipment, well, not really a shipment, some samples of some vanes from Q2i. These are the new Rigid X vanes. Now they call them Rigid X because they still have the same grade adhesion, but they're a lighter and stiffer material. Yep, I can definitely notice the stiffness, and they are a lot lighter. Why does that matter? Well, it might offer the same steering performance as my Q2i vanes that I've come to expect and trust, but if they're lighter and I'm running an arrow where every grain matters, like this ultralight arrow I crafted at a 23 diameter arrow. It's a spine lighter than I would normally run, 400 spine instead of 350 out of my 65-pound Matthews title. Right there, that's the 3D bow of choice for me. Now, if I use these vanes, I actually shot some of my personal best scores, but I found that they were scoring better up to 40 meters, but past 40 meters, my groups were opening up. I think the arrow is a little bit too light and it doesn't have enough point weight. Well, you got to lighten your arrow up if you want speed. And I was getting 305 feet per second out of a target bow. That's great, but I don't get great groupings when the arrow is this light right now. So I went with a slightly heavier spine. And I went with this shield cut because it's slightly taller and I think it's going to steer really well. And it tuned great. I'm getting really good groups. But if I make this back end slightly lighter, then this end I get a little more what's called front of center weight. With less weight in the back of the arrow, more of the balance of the arrow shifts closer to the front. And that might help me get better groupings at longer distance or when it's windy. So same great shape, same great profile, same great steering from a vane that I want, but with slightly lighter weight. Let's see how it flies. So I'll fletch some of these up and we'll test them out tomorrow. We'll also listen for noise. This parabolic vane has been giving me really good results this year, but I wonder if the stiffer material is going to make it a lot louder, or will it be the same kind of quiet vane, or will it be quieter? Let's take it and let's give it a test head-to-head tomorrow against some of my other existing Q2i vanes. We'll see what happens. And this is my arrow saw, and I use the micro-tune feature here, which I've just made sure that these little screws, there you go, got two here and two on the back side, and I made sure that those are nice and tight so I can get some really precise cuts. And I put some paper towel down to catch any carbon dust, which you can see some right there, and I'm going to use wet paper towel to wipe it all up, keep it all clean, keep my area clean. Of course, I unplugged it, removed the power cord. Squaring tool's got this little abrasive disc there, and you can rotate it. Each squaring tool comes with a bunch of those little discs. I just think it's a really handy tool to make sure your arrows have nice clean cuts. The saw I'm using actually produces really good clean cuts. I verify it by eye, and I square them, and quality built arrow. To put points in, I like to use this DeWalt kind of high impact hot melt, my heat gun. And I always use the same pliers that have electrical tape that cover a lot of the bitey jaws so I don't make tool marks on my points. Now for glue, I only have one hand. I'm going to put this in selfie mode. I've got this little spot on my desk where I don't have puzzle mat covering it. I like to cover my desk with puzzle mat because then when you drop a screw, it doesn't bounce and fall into the carpet or onto your hard floor and go skittering everywhere. Okay, just to make sure the glue is a little bit melted on there, onto the point. I got a little ring of glue there, and then I roll it that way towards the point of the arrow. And there it is. Because I don't want to roll it backwards because it could be pulling up the carbon. If I roll it towards the steel,
can't pull any carbon fibers off.
I make my own wraps, and I use a permanent vinyl, same stuff you'd use for a car. I believe the brand name is Oracal. So I'm gonna just take this 4-inch section off, and I'm gonna line it up on my self-healing cutting mat. And I like to use this because it's got lines on here that help me make sure that my wrap is straight. And I start kind of 7/8 of the way over and roll forward to make sure I get adhesion, and then roll back. And there is a perfectly rolled wrap. And repeat. Okay, I've changed locations so I can watch a show with my wife, but this is how I like to do fletching. So use the Bitzenberger jig. I have had great success with the adhesion on these guys. No primer pen required or anything. Okay, Q2i vein right in the clamp, and then I run it from the back to the front. I run a bead. Okay, just make sure I got even coverage. I check it, and then what I do is I blot it on this paper. Just one little quick boom. Excess glue comes off, and then into the clamp. Wait 10-15 seconds, and then I'm good. I wonder if you can see the little lines. Got this nice little pattern lines where I go bump, 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 bump. I've gotten really efficient after doing this for so long. Don't be afraid to fletch your own arrows. Give it a try. It's really easy.